It's Naked Atlantic Laser Scanning. Listen, I found some data from the last scan project that looks to be the same thing as what you guys are doing. I want to just bring it up, walk you through some basics of how to register this data together, since it's going to be likely something that is the identical data that you're going to be picking up this next time that you've got the scanner next week. As you can see, this is the general opening screen. What you'll do when you're in the field, you're going to go through, you're going to do your scan day. At the end of the scan day, you're going to go ahead and shut the scanner down, pull that SD card out, then put it into the laptop where you've already got the FARO SCENE software downloaded to. You're going to put the USB SCENE software dongle key that we provide you into the computer, and then open that software after that, and then put the SD card in once the software is up and running. It will ask you if you want to download the project. Say yes, then double click on the project name that you did that previous day, and then you're going to see this screen. So that being said, this is a portion of the data that was collected on this particular day of the oyster bed scan. And that's just to try to make this as quick as possible. So because there are sphere targets that are used, I'm going to jump into the Explore button on the top, and we're going to just look at the general quick view here of one of the scans. There's no color added to it, but you can see that we've got the sphere targets that are set out in an array around the scanner. And because of that, we have to do a particular process in order to register. We're going to go into pre-processing. You can see in the middle of the top of the screen. Once we get into pre-processing, we're going to go to the top left-hand corner to process scans. It's not going to allow us to go past this screen until we choose what is in essence the cluster or folder that contains all of these scans for the project day. As I said, we just grabbed a few, and we're going to go to the top right-hand corner to configure processing. Now, this is a general default page, and it gives us some options. So what I want to do is just draw your attention to a couple things. Colorization, if you did use color on the scan or not, I don't recommend adding the color right away. If you do the scan and it's a really sunny day, there's a chance that since it's taking a large number of photographs while it's collecting that color photo data, some of them are going to just be blown out. They're going to be like you took a picture with your camera into the sun and it just turns all white. There's a chance that that's going to happen. And if you add all that color into the project, you're going to get it's just not going to be easy to look at and measure off of. So you can always add the color of the photos later. So keep it under the no colorization portion right here. Now, as you get down a little bit further, you're going to see find targets. Make sure that the find spheres option is checked. And then down here, make sure that your sphere radii is 0.07 meters, because they're 140 millimeter targets. And then the last thing, going down here to the registration method, this is initially going to give you top view and cloud to cloud. What you want to have it on is target based. So that means that when the software puts the scans together, it's going to use the spheres that you've got laid out around the scanner as the tools to register scans 1 and 2, 2 and 3, 3 and 4. We'll go through this when I drop the scanner off, but you get 6 sphere targets. You put them out in an array around the scanner. You don't want them more than 30 or 40 feet away at the most, because a certain number of laser points have to make contact with each sphere in order to be able to identify that as a target. Then you're going to move the scanner. And when you move the scanner, say 50 feet, you can only move 3 of the 6 targets. So the ones that are furthest away from your scanner now, you would move to the front, the direction that you're scanning, and you're going to leave the three that were closest to you, leave them there. When the scanner then does the next scan, this is pulled in here in the pre-processing method of registration. It's the computer's looking at those three targets, spheres that didn't move. So 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4, there will always be at least 3 scanned targets that don't move between 1 and 2, between 2 and 3, and 3 and 4. Obviously, they're, you know, going to be different from 3 to 4 than it was from 1 to 2, but it's only worried about putting together 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4, 4 to 5. This method of registration is not taking into account scan 6 being in relation to scan 1. It's just 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4, and etc. So making sure that we're, again, target-based registration here, we can go ahead and start pre-processing. All right, so it's as a general rule, when you're doing registration, it takes 1 or 2 minutes per scan. So give you sort of a timetable when you're doing this part of the process. So we're going to go ahead and hit OK. Jump into Explore here and see what we've got. So you can see the scan manager has got a yellow light. That means we've got pretty good registration. We can double click on it, see the results. And our target tension is 18 millimeters, not great. So what we can do is, let's see where the problems lie. In order to do that, one of the things we can do is first start with the correspondence view. I'm going to right click on the scans folder and choose correspondence view, tell it to go ahead and load. But again, you right click on the main scan folder to view and correspondence view. Now, the thing about the correspondence view is it's going to give you the location of each of the scans as it was placed by the software. And each scan point cloud is going to be a different color. So you can see what your overlap is. And it not only gives you an idea, it's going to show you the project. If it's correct registration, you'll see all the spots where the scanner actually was placed. If it's not correct, you may have one or more scans that are off in space, and then the rest of them, where they're supposed to be. One of the ways that you'll know that it's wrong is on the scan manager side here. So we still have one major scan cluster. If you have a bad registration, it'll have a second cluster, or it'll have one cluster and a couple scans just sort of outside of it, like outside of the folder. But it looks as though this came together okay. As far as just simply looking at where the scans are located. We can drop a general center point here. Now, there's a lot of different tools that are along the bottom of the screen of this. It'll just take a little time for you guys to familiarize yourself with it. But as you can see, it does look like they are in the correct location. I'm not sure about scan number 14, if they had the scanner off the side of this small island. I'm not sure, but we will take a look. So if we go to scan 14, we'll just double click on 14 over here. That gives us the two-dimensional, what's called a quick view. Yeah, it looks as though it was scanned. I don't know if they had put this on some sort of a platform or not. But now, as you can see, each one of the spheres should have a green circle in it. That means it was identified as a actual target. You can actually go through and just make sure. Now, here we've got a good example. We've got some identified targets out here in space that obviously aren't targets. Obviously, there was something shiny on the boat, and you can see this target here did not get identified. It's a great example of a target that was just too far away from the scanner. You see these others, but this one, we can manually identify that. I think the first thing we need to do is get rid of a false target, so we can just left click on that. Now we're in scan 15, so you'll see if you open that up, we don't need to look at the pictures, but if you look at this scan fit and the auto features, the sphere container, we just clicked on this target here, and that looks to be sphere number 5. We're going to go ahead and erase it, right click on it, and delete it. By getting rid of the false targets, it will improve our accuracy. You see the sphere container fit just went to red when we did that. So we're going to have to tell that to refigure itself. But one of the other things that happen here is all the targets are on one side of the scanner and none on the other side. So not the best placement of the scanner, I would say. You would have been better off having the scanner maybe in this sort of area, say here, and then you're going to get coverage this direction, but it would have allowed you to have spheres back here instead of having them all on one side. So it's possible for us to give this particular sphere, identify it as a target. We can go up here and mark sphere and identify it. And we go to the sphere fit, and we can go right click and go update. And hopefully that will start to improve our accuracy throughout the entire project here. And again, we can go into each. I suggest if you've got a problem with your scan accuracy, that you go into each scan and eliminate the bad targets, and also add in ones that may not have been picked up. So again, we got another false target coming in off the boat. There must be some shiny stuff on there. We're going to right click on that. We're going to delete it. And since we're in scan 16, you see the sphere container fit again went red. Now, one more thing to note, all the other spheres, they're all green lights. So we left click on the container fit, right click to give it update. It's going to update itself. We can go into each scan that you had to do that with, and we can again just update it, and it should give us a little better results. We did. So in short, this is a project you'll probably be rescanning. A couple things that you want to avoid, that's having the spheres too far away, having the spheres only on one side of the scanner, and looking for false targets that are out there, maybe bouncing off of the boats, or if somebody has something shiny. I've seen a watch light up as a target. So anyway, those are a couple of different things that you guys can do, but the actual registration part is done. So, saving it. Now, what you want to do after, I don't really know. If you're going to be exporting this into a different software package, we can do another video on that, because there's, you can export the project. You can export it in a file format that AutoCAD and things like that can pick up. So there's different things that we can do down the line, but I think you have a little bit of a roadmap here on how to register your project using the sphere targets in the field. So if you guys do run into any problems, have any questions, let us know. If there's a way that we can just create the scan project on our side, we'll run through and see if we can answer those questions for you. Anyway, thanks and good luck, guys.